Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody is doing good today. Y'all, we're going to have some fun and we are going to talk about, do you have enough evidence? Y'all, when I was thinking about putting my coaching together for today, I was thinking about the last couple of years. I was thinking about the market conditions that we have lived in, and what I want to provide you guys today is ammunition for when that customer says no. When the customer says no, y'all, I don't want to play if I could with would you, right? I don't want to lower my price until the customer purchases the product that I'm offering. What I want to do is I want to provide you guys with data. That data is mined through your service departments collectively through, the 300 so odd dealerships that we represent. And what that's going to do is it's going to justify the pricing and build value in that product that you're offering. What it's going to do is it's going to paint a picture for the consumer that I need this coverage. I don't want this coverage, y'all. So let's hop in and get started. All right, y'all, I wanted to start with this quote. My quote for this year in all my meetings and everything that I've been doing is this right here. It's new year, new chapter, new verse, or just the same old story. Ultimately, we write it. The choice is yours. Y'all, we've been accustomed to some really good business conditions. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here, but I really want y'all to dig in and on the data that we're going to go over today, y'all, because it's going to arm you, just like with what I said, all right, with the knowledge and with the information to close that customer that sits in your office next. All right, so first question, y'all, we're going to do some polls across 300 dealerships that we represent. What is LDS and Versant Group's average labor rate paid on claims? Is it $200 an hour? Is it $175 an hour? Or is it $150 an hour? All right. So 61% of you guys said $175 an hour. 29% of y'all got it correct. This number has been absolutely astonishing to me. In 2020, our average labor rate paid on a claim was $100 an hour. In 2021, it inched up to 120, and y'all, it's 150 right now. In the next year and a half, labor rates will hit $200 an hour. What does that mean for you and your consumer that's purchasing a VIP package that includes mechanical breakdown insurance? It means I am, one, protecting my cost for today, but what does the average customer make in Louisiana and Mississippi? I went and researched it and went to Google and typed it in. Y'all, it's right a little bit above $20 an hour. We could go on the upper income of that and say, I could average $100 an hour. But do I want to pay $150 for somebody to turn a wrench? Y'all, that's before any parts are replaced. So one thing I encourage you guys to do is go and gather this data. Go to your service departments, find out what it costs for these things to be replaced, and let's hop into our next question. All right. So one thing about vehicles this year is the screens keep getting bigger, right? We got an example right here of a 12-inch screen on a Ram truck, on a Ford truck, and y'all, apparently Jeep's got, you've got 3 screens in this Grand Wagoneer. So what I want to ask you guys is what's the average cost to replace an infotainment system in today's autos? Is it $3 grand, $4,000, or $5,000? All right. So 47%, the majority actually got this correct. The average cost is $4,000 for the part, y'all. So in this fancy little screen right here, if my volume control knob on any one of these 3 displays that are here on this page go out, what do I have to do? If my heated seats stop working, the button, I click it, it stops working. I can't repair technology. It's a plug and play, y'all. They remove the unit, and then at $150 an hour, all right, we put it back in. All right, next question. So in a month, what does the LDS group pay for technology claims? Is it 65,000, 32,000, or is it $125,000 that we pay in a given month in technology claims? All right. 64% of you guys said it was $125,000. So it actually is $65,000. Y'all, we are spending $65,000 a month in technology claims. And I'm going to tell you one thing about what's going to happen is we're starting to see a shift when it comes to claims. Before it was engines and transmissions, right, that we were seeing most of our claims on. But we're just beginning to pay a lot of money, because what have auto manufacturers done in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 years? They have thrown nothing but technology in these vehicles, right? Y'all, from when you hit your gas pedal to when you hit on your brakes, it is all controlled by a computer system. So I'll tell you this, y'all, again, go back to that service department, find out what some of this stuff costs. In our picture here, we're going to talk about in my next slide, a wiring harness repair. So let's hop in and talk about some wiring harnesses. So how long is a wiring harness in today's autos? Is it 800 feet, 6,000 feet, or 5,000 feet? What do y'all think? All right. 65% of you guys got it correct, y'all. It's 5,000 feet. So let me break this down to y'all, right? So 5,000 feet looks like a big number, but what is 5,000 feet? 5,000 feet is 14 football fields. So if I take an average automobile and stretch out the wiring harnesses that go from the computer and connect out to the different varied parts of your vehicles, 14 football fields, y'all, 5 cruise ships stacked one behind the other. All right, 340 vehicles, one behind the other, y'all, and 5 Eiffel Towers stacked one on top of the other. But, and how can a consumer tell me I'll take my chances? Giving the information that we're talking about, y'all, if there's a wiring harness repair, and I'm gonna go back to this vehicle right here that needs to be done on your vehicle, if there is a problem with a connectivity deal on your vehicle, we have to take the whole thing apart. We got to take the whole thing apart, y'all, at $150 an hour. I gotta take the seats off. I've got to strip it to bare bones, and I gotta trace and find out where my problem is. And it costs a lot of time and a lot of money. I wouldn't want to catch myself unprotected without a VIP plan on my vehicle with all this stuff we're talking about. So on an average day, what do we pay in transmission claims? Do we pay $56,000 a day, $35,000 a day, or $78,000 a day on transmission claims at the ODS Versa Group? Y'all, 38% of you guys nailed it. We are spending $35,000 a day in transmission claims. I want to talk about that for a second, because a transmission claim alone, before we talk about, replacing the transmission and the cost for the part, y'all, it's an 18-hour job. All right, do the math. 18 hours at an average of 150. To get to an average at 150, you got some above 150 and some below 150, right? We have dealers that's labor rates are in the 200s right now today. I wouldn't want to have an 18-hour job at that type of labor rate before the part and find myself unprotected. All right, let's talk about UVP. So how much has Safeguard paid in UVP claims last year? Is it $243 million, $372 million, or $10 million in UVP claims last year paid by Safeguard? All right. 29% of you guys nailed it, y'all. $250 million. Safeguard spent $250 million, $243,489,812. So the volume of claims have gone up, but not only the volume Well, what happened to oil prices, right? Oil prices go through. What are tires made out of? The price of these tires have gone through the moon, y'all. So again, I encourage you guys, right? We talked about the quote earlier. Do something different than what we have done in the last 2 years. Get out there and get out of your comfort zone. Go to your service department and gather information. Take pictures. You look at all these pictures that I've got here. These are all pictures that were taken of me walking through service departments. And when a customer tells you no, right, paint the picture. This is where it's time for us to go into story mode. All right. How much did LDS and Safeguard pay in gap claims last year? Did we pay 865,000, 110 million, or 400 million in gap claims last year? All right, 43% of you guys got it right. $110 million in gap claims. Y'all, so gap, this is actually it's about a couple percent increase than what it was the last year. And the reason is because we really hadn't seen much play in gap in the last couple of years because of the values of vehicles, right? Customers will total out their vehicles and they're worth more than what they paid for them and they come out on top. But what's going to happen this year, right? Y'all, we've seen a decline in gap penetrations, but I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't want to be caught without it, right? With the different evaluations, we're going to see a lot of inequity in 2023, y'all, and let's be prepared for it. All right, last question. What is the average claim payout of gap claims last year? Was it $3,000, $5,500, or $6,500? Y'all are on a roll today. 57% of you guys, it was $5,500 is an average claim that'll do nothing but continue to rise. One thing I'll tell you about gap is F&I Sentinel, the judge and jury on F&I products. Last year, they made a decision and said, we're not going to finance any gap, right? If it has any LTV caps or max payout caps. And the reason they did that is they knew it was going to get ugly, y'all. So again, the reason I wanted to put this together, the reason I wanted to give you guys this information is when you get a no, build an evidence manual. It doesn't have to be an old school little flip through book, y'all. If you have an iPad, grab some of these images, go to your service department and take some pictures of these technology repairs and put it as your background of your computer, print it out and put it in your office to where it could be a conversation piece. Have that customer ask you what it is, all right? And then you can go to work and build value in the products that we sell. And y'all, before I let you go, all right? Every one of you guys on this call, we got 110 people on the call, all right? Has one of these in their dealership. I encourage you, once you hit end call, walk back there, go build a process, go talk to your service advisors and tell them, look, if you have a claim that's this, or this, if you have a time, put them to the side for me. Walk through the shop, talk to your technicians. They're the ones working on the vehicles and they know what goes wrong on them. Y'all, if I can logically have a conversation with a customer that tells me no to an F&I product, and I can sit back and I can explain to him the reasons that our customers purchased this protection is because of this. And I have all this data, I've got all this information that I can provide to the customer rather than lowering my price until the customer says yes, right? Go out there, get some ROs, y'all, and let's have a hell of a 2023. Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.